Here is my $200 350 Chevy I picked up recently. Got it on the engine stand, ready to run. Hopefully I can get it running here later today. Still need to do a few things to it. Battery, gasoline, check to see if it's got spark, stuff like that. So I picked this up on Facebook pretty cheap. Might be wondering what you're going to do with that. It's going to go in the chodge over there. It's had a 350 in it, but I sold the engine out of it a while back. And I want to stick something back in it so it moves, so it's not a dead horse, I guess you'd call it. Now the condition of this engine, I'm not 100% sure on it, but I did have to take the oil pan off because the people that removed it from whatever this was in dropped it, and it kind of pushed the oil pan up in, so I did drop the oil pan, beat the pan back out. Just so to make sure the screen wasn't hitting the bottom of the pan. And it does look like it's been rebuilt before. Somebody put dot marks on everything on the rods. They didn't use a number stamp, they just took a center punch and punched dots on all the rods. So I think it should be good. But I'm going to try to get it running here later. Here we go. See if this piece of shit will run. dirt in the carburetor, something's going idle, must be choke gone. Doesn't sound too terrible. You have to take the carb part, clean it out. Maybe mess with the timing. Yeah, got the top of the carburetor off. Some of the parts out, and there's definitely dirt down in there. So we're gonna have to give her a thorough cleaning. I don't know what all's down in there. Some chunks of crap, that's for sure. Obviously the idle circuit's not working, which is these tubes here. One's probably plugged. Gas cleaned out of it, you can get a little bit better look at how dirty it is down in there. Usually I'll take a piece of wire and run down through the idle circuit just to make sure it's not plugged. It doesn't seem to be too bad now. We'll get this all cleaned out better and blow all these little tiny holes out, and hopefully it'll idle. I got the carb back together and I filled up the gas. Let's see if it runs. Take two. That's a lot better. At least it's idling. $100. Looks like getting good oil pressure. Not getting hot either. That's a plus. Well, so far we ran into a couple problems. First is the thermostat was stuck and overheated. And the second thing is, act like it was missing. So pulled the number 3 plug wire off and act like it wasn't doing anything. We pulled the plugs out and they weren't in the greatest shape, so we cleaned them all off, stuck it back together. Also took the thermostat out. And start this thing up again, see what it sounds like this time.
Where'd you have this number 3 ran at? Was this on?
No, around the front.
I think so. 3.
It's pretty tight. Up there. Just like that. See what it does this time.
Can't be any worse.
Feel that good. Get some juice. Maybe. Plug it in the right way. Sound like it's hitting on all 8. It does smoke a little bit, but who knows when the last time was it ran.
Can't expect a whole lot in brand new.
Yeah. They should get the chodge moving around. So. $200, rod throwing small block Chevy. Somebody said they wouldn't give me 10 cents for it. So. Okay, it's been a couple days since I had this running. I kind of wanted to just let it sit and then start it up after it's had a few days to see if it wants to smoke like a freight train or what it does. But I got the gas hooked up to it and battery hooked up, so should be able to start it up here. Just need to take this little inner tube off, keep the rain out of it. Another nosy airplane flying over. Get this off there. Don't need the air filter on it to run it. And it is cold. Hasn't been run. Not burning or sizzling my hand. Guess it should be ready to go. See what it does. One thing for sure, This bow cover's leaking. Really, it needs probably new bow cover gaskets in it anyways. I had the starter switch here somewhere, and I don't see it. Son of a bitch. Guess I'll have to go find that wherever it went. You have to take a pause. So I managed to find my starter switch. I'll have to hook it up and get it going here. Hook it to the battery and the starter, and she should take off. First part is getting my hand up in here to hook it to it. Yes, that wasn't too bad. Alright. Got juice. Seems like it took off pretty good. I didn't really see much smoke, but the camera probably caught more than I could see. So I'm gonna let it run a bit, get nice and hot, and drain the block out. Kind of wanted to flush it out. I don't know how nasty it is inside of there. So I'm gonna do that a couple times. Run it, flush it, fill it back up, run it again. Probably do that 2 or 3 times to get all the crud out of it. And then she's gonna get a good cleaning and a paint job. Probably paint it black. I need to get that manifold off. There's 2 bolts twisted off in the center. I'll have to work on that too. Bow cover gaskets for sure. And then we should be able to stick it down in the chodge. Well, I managed to get that manifold off, and it took a little bit to get it off, but I finally worked it off. And I thought that bolt there was holding it, and it would come to find out it was this one, because that one is pretty much screwed out. I'm pretty sure the threads are still good, and I'll have to look at it a little closer, but the other stud that's still on there was stuck on there pretty good. But it's finger loose, so and screw it out. And I think this side's alright. Felt like there's some threads there. I think that side's alright, just needs a good cleaning out. Might kind of boogered the threads up out on the edge, but should be good enough. So I'm going to get that bolt that's broke off out of there. I'm going to bolt the manifold back on. At least with maybe a couple bolts out on the end. Fill it full of water again and run it a while and drain it. I already did that once. I'm going to do it again and probably call that good. I need to clean it all off, put some bow cover gaskets in it, and paint it. And it should be just about ready after I do that to put it in the pickup. Well, I got the engine painted black. She looks beautiful now. Good enough to stick down into the chodge. Of course, I'm not gonna use these spark plugs. They're pretty much junk. They look like they got about 1 billion miles on them. But she's black and she's beautiful. And hopefully, sometime here, whenever I find a flex plate for it, I have to go dig through my junk. Should be able to stick it down in the pickup over there. Get it running and moving so it's not a dead horse. But there probably won't be anything on it until I do decide to stick it in the pickup. Because I ran it, flushed it out, and it should be ready to go. Removed all my stuff so it won't run. Around these buckets over there on my engine stand accessories. So now to hunt a bunch of parts every time I want to get it running. At least a small block or a big block. I was out here painting this. I probably got done painting it maybe 20 minutes ago and just set the carb and the distributor and the cap back on it. It's fairly dry. But you can see it's trying to rain. And it wasn't supposed to rain today. It's starting to cloud up. See, it's clear over this way and it's cloudy that way. That means rain, for those of you who didn't know.